Hi guys. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I am with you yet for another session. It's crazy how the days are flying and the weeks are going. I can't even wrap my mind around the fact that we've come into February and it's like yesterday that New Year's happened. So yeah, it's going very fast, guys, and I'm live from Gloucester yet again, coming to you with another question. So today's question is, what is the role of communication in our lives? I know it plays a big role in mine. So I'd like to know what kind of role it plays in all of our lives. So I'd love to hear your opinions and your experiences. So let's start off with Arush. Arush, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
My name is Arush Kumar. I study in class 4F. My school name is Delhi Public School, Mega City, Kolkata, and my favorite hobby is playing, singing, and dance.
Excellent. Very good. And what did you do today?
First, I woke up in the morning at 9 o'clock. Then I got ready for my
Slowly,
classes.
slowly. No one's
First, I
chasing
woke
you.
up in the morning at 9 o'clock. Then I got ready for my classes. After my classes, I was just playing for some time. Then after that, I joined 6:30 to 7:30 learning classes. Then I'm joining our class now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so what is the role that communication plays in our lives?
Communication plays a vital role in human life. It helps facilitate the exchange of information and knowledge and develop relationship with the others. When we travel another country, then it helps to communicate with other person. Thank you.
With other people. Yes, it does help us to communicate with other people. And how does it help you, Arush?
Like if you, I'm also doing some communication and I know English very nicely. And whenever I go to any other country or I meet with my father's friend or son, with them, I to them English because English is the most famous language in the whole world.
Okay, so English specifically really helps you to communicate.
Yes, ma'am.
And what does communication bring for you?
If you don't know how to communicate in English, so when you will go to study in countries over there, you need to talk in English. Don't know English, so then it is impossible. You can't also study outside country. So the main language you need to learn is English. If you learn English, you can speak everything.
Okay, so English here is bringing you so English is bringing you communication, but communication is bringing you closer to other people, and it's also giving you opportunities to learn and
Yes,
education.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, Arush.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so just a little note to everyone. This is like the connection thing that I want. So it's not language. Don't get it confused with English. I know this is an English communication class, but it's not English. What is communication doing for you? Okay, that is the question. So make sure you hit the nail on the head with that one. Okay, so let's continue on with Navya. Navya, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. My name is Navya Karwal. I study in class 7 in Calcutta, and my day was a bit hectic because today I got my exam routine, so we had to make our all routines, so that's why it's a bit hectic.
Okay, and and how does your exam routine look?
It's like this. Like there's no 1 day break, and now our teachers are also saying that like my exams are going to start from next week Friday. So and after that, I it's going on for my exams will go for 3 weeks. So and there's not even a single 1 day break also.
Oh
So
my goodness.
it's like fully crumpled, like there's no break, there's no study break also, so everything is very crumpled, so I have to cover up everything now.
And you're feeling very stressed, I imagine.
Very much.
Well, a day at a time and a thing at a time, and everything will be okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what can you tell us? What is the role of communication in our lives?
Communication matters a lot. If going to a party and if just sitting quietly, we're not building any relation. But if we are going up and even saying hi, hello, and what we are doing, or what our profession is, so maybe in future if they have some problem, like if I if I'm doing charity work, so if the person who I told that I do charity work, they will call me and tell me that I need you to sell some shirts to poor people. So I will get business, our closeness will get together, and charity work will also be done. So that way, we communication can also help in building relationships, and it's also important for families. For example, if we are having a party today but the party was cancelled and the first one was informed to me, but I didn't inform anyone, and all the people came over here and they're angry at me because I didn't say to them. So it's my fault, I didn't tell them, I didn't communicate with them that the party is cancelled today. So that's very important.
Okay, good. Okay, so if you could summarize it into a point, what does communication bring to you?
Communication brings us close to more people, and it also helps us to it also helps us to it also helps us to understand more people, because sometimes if people can see that they can talk to me, then it will also if my friend is crying and I know from her tone of voice, so I can call her and she can tell me a problem. So that way I'm communicating with her. She knows that I'm a like a long friend, and she knows what that I can confront her, so she will call me and then we will talk. So that way I'm also communicating and then I'm confronting her too.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Okay, next we'll move
Thank you,
on.
ma'am.
Thank you very much, Navya. Next we'll move on to Bisman. Hi, Bisman.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Bisman. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your day?
Good evening, everyone. This is Visman. I belong to Bhubaneswar, Odisha. I study in Loyola School, class 7, and and my hobbies are to play badminton and uh, have a nice time with family.
Excellent. Very good. And what did you do today?
So today my timetable also came out, so I had to pack myself with all the like what all to study today and what all I have to complete before my exams. So so mine exams are also like two for 2 weeks and there are no breaks in
I
between.
see.
So I had to pack up my all the studies and try to complete it before my exams and revise it once. So I was planning all about it.
Well, all the very best of luck for you today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So can you tell us a bit, what is the role of communication in your life?
So I think that communication plays a very important role in our life. We can live without shelter, food, water, but we can't live without communication. It's so important that it's the first step of a life. Like if we can't communicate, a child can communicate by crying. He can come like he can say as what he wants by crying, and that's also a way to communicate yourself. Communicate doesn't means to talk, but it means to express yourself, and communication can be done in any language until or unless it's understood by the other person or the so it's like you say anything and it's understood by the person is called communication. It can be in any language and any way. You can write it to communicate, you can do any action to communicate, but most probably we prefer to talk to communicate. So I feel like communication is so important that you can't live without it. You can live without anything. Like you can live without studies, you can live without food, water, shelter, but not without communication. If you can't communicate with anyone, it feels like you haven't been a person. It's like any person who is not educated still has the courage to communicate is the person you can believe that yeah, he can communicate, he has some talent in it. So yeah, I feel like communication is very important.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, Bisman. Okay, next, let's move on to Ambika Rai. Ambika,
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
hello, good evening. So can you introduce yourself and just briefly tell us what you did with your day?
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Ambika Rai. I am staying in Kolkata. I have completed my PhD, and thank you. Regarding my day today, I was today is very hectic for me. I have prepared a storyboard, all these things for my job, and I have applied it. So completely hectic. I'm completely tired today. So, but I love to attend this class. That's why I'm here today.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Okay, so Ambika, can you tell me what is the role of communication in our lives?
Yeah, communication actually is an art or process of transferring information from one person or to group of another. We cannot neglect the importance of communication in our life. We cannot neglect the importance communication skills in our life. Communications help in the exchange of information, knowledge, emotions, and develop relationship with others. So there are various important communications in our life. So that is one is to make so in communication in our life means we have to make life easier. We need to communicate. To make our life easier, we need to communicate. It is also important in any organization for motivating and for inspiring any employees or employer. It need communication, proper communication skills. So again, it is also important in business because actually business is all about the negotiation and achieve the goals. So we cannot ignore in business that communication skills. Again, communication is also important in society because it explains it shows how social we are in the society.
Okay.
So communication is also important in education because of speaking as well as listening. Communication is important. That's all. Thank you. I have
Thank you
not
very
prepared
much,
well
Ambika.
today. Thank
You
you. Thank you, sir.
have still, don't worry, you have still answered the question well, don't worry. Okay, so
Thank you.
next
Thank you
you're
so much.
welcome. Next I would like Sonny. Sonny, can you introduce yourself and immediately go to today's question because it's a big class today.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Soni Haswani. I am postgraduated. I am 22-year-old and I live in Satna, MP. If I talk about today day, it was a pretty good day. And if I talk about today topic, so communication play a virtual role in our life. We can exchange information, knowledge, and if we want to communicate without communication, we can't survive. Even I am also without communicate with any other else, I'm not surviving. I have like a headache because in such cases communication have a major goals that informing, expressing, feeling, imagining, influencing, and meeting social expectation. Each of these goals reflect to communicate. Communication are of two types, that there is a verbal communication or in non-verbal communication. In a verbal communication we use the words, but in a non-verbal communication we just use our expressions, like eye to eye contact or gesture, body expressions, attitude. This type of communication we can use. but most probably if we have a dispute between a person or our friend, so we have to sort out with the help of communication, because without communication we can't sort out our disputes. So that's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you very much, Sonny. Next, I would like to go to Shamili. Hi, Shamili.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Can you please introduce yourself and move on to today's question?
Okay, so my name is Sharmili Khatwani. I'm from Allahabad, India, and I am currently doing my BCom from SS Khanna Girls Degree College. And recently, last year, I passed my 12th from Girls High School and College. And my hobbies are dancing, playing video games, and singing. And for today's day, I would like to say it was a hectic day because I have to go through my tests are going, so I have to go first give the test, then join my classes, and I'm running my own institution, so I have to go for them to like tuition classes. Then I have to go for my dance class, and then I'm joining here with you.
Okay, thank you for joining, Shamili. So on to today's question now.
Yes. So communication is simply defined as a process that allow people to exchange thoughts by one or of several methods. We not only communicate with speaking, we can just make gestures, we can do anything for communication. And it is important because we are explaining our thought to this other person. We are expressing ourselves, what we need, and what can be our next step. And it is completed. The process of communication is completed when the next person understand and gives something gives the information that gives us a feedback that he understood that a particular thing we are saying. So it's very important to communicate, and it is a very basic need we every human want.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Shamili. Okay, next we have Ritika. Hi, Ritika.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. So, Ritika, can you introduce yourself and go to today's question, please?
Okay. I'm Ritika Agarwal and I'm from Haryana. I'm 19 and currently pursuing BCom from Banasli Vidyapeeth. And my hobbies are dancing and playing badminton, and I love traveling. Thank you. And if I go about today's question, that firstly, I want to say communication plays an important role in everyone's lives. With the help of communication, we all interact with each other. So interaction is very important. So communication plays a very important role. Communication plays role in almost every work in our society, in education, in business, etc. In education, communication plays very important role. Teachers are communicate with students for proper learning. So communication plays an important role. And in business, for effective selling, if a businessman have good communication skill, then they can improve their selling. So at last, communication plays an important role. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ritika.
Thank you.
And next we have Nidhi. Hi, Nidhi. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Myself, Nidhi Sonthalia. I live in Jamshedpur. My husband name is Vinit Sonthalia. He's a businessman, and I love cooking, dancing, and reading books. Thank you. About question, I think communication is very important in our day-to-day life, because without it we cannot convey our thoughts, feelings, and needs. Similarly, you can say we are also not able to understand the needs and thoughts of others. So it is very important to communicate. It can be in any form, like we can communicate others in the form through our words by telling, or also in the form of letters, emails, signs, anything we can communicate through. When dealing with, I think when dealing with any issue, we have to be very good communication skill. Communication is what which keeps all the relationship very healthy and alive. For example, as a parent, as a mother also, I have to face a very difficult task in trying to communicate my son sometimes, because as he growing, because as he growing, he's getting much more smarter than me. So it's very becoming a very tough for parents to communicate their teenagers child. For that, you have to have very good communication skill. So at the end, I would like to tell you for happiest and healthy life, communication is very important and it's the backbone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nidhi. Okay,
Thank you.
next I would like Samikia. Hi, Samikia.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Samikia. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about today's question?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I'm Samikya Samvardhana of class 7. I'm studying in St. Vincent Convent School. I'm living in India at Odisha, Berhampur. And my hobbies are to doing paintings and drawings. Thank you. And today I woke up at 5:30 a.m. for my studies, and then I completed my morning routine at 7:40. And then my online classes started, and that ends up at 12:10. And also today there was two tests. My performance was very good too. And then I went for my studies again because my tuition homework were there. And then after completion of my homework, I went for my tuition. And after coming home from my tuition, I watched TV. I watched TV with my grandmother, and then after that I have a meeting with my friend for the studies. We just have studies, and we just usually have this meeting. And after completing my meeting, I just study for my tomorrow's exam, and then I join your class.
Okay, thank you. So Samikia, can you tell us about today's question, please?
Yes, ma'am. I think communication is very important because communication is through communication only people can interact with each other. If there is no communication, we can't tell people what our feelings, what is the thing we want to do, what our feelings. We cannot share anything. And in so there, if there is no communication, we can't also explain them by our hand movements. No, so that's why the communication is very important. And a communication act of is as the act of transferring information from a person to another. And also it's an important role in our life because to ask anything, to need a help, to anything, if we need anything, or we want to help anyone, so there is need a communication. Because if there is no communication skills, so how we will ask to anyone for our help? So the people who can't tell anything, so their life is very difficult for them. So for them there is also a class for them to understand communications. So I think it's very important for communication for our asking anything or telling anything.
Excellent. Okay, so thank you very much, Samikia. I'll move on to Harshita. Harshita, can you? Thank you, Samikia. Okay, so Harshita, can you please introduce yourself and move on to today's question?
Well, good evening, Christine.
Good evening.
My name is Harshita Singh and I'm a BCom student. And I have a very tight schedule these days, as you all must be knowing. I am attending the communication classes, I guess, after 5 or 6 days or even after a week. So about today's question, I think that communication plays a great role in each and every one of our life, because communication is not just about speaking to anyone or telling about some news or reading some particular paragraph. It's about connecting with the other person. Communication helps us in understanding the feelings and the emotion of the other person. It always helps us to articulate that what the other person is thinking, and if someone is in problem, then how can we help them out? I think that two whole 15 people who are attending this meeting didn't even know each other. But now we do. It's because of the community. It's because we connected with each other, and now we know so much about each other, that what we are, what we stand for, what our personality is made for. So I think that communication is one of the most beautiful thing of the nature, because without communication, life won't be possible. You will never know that what's going to happen for the very next time or for the very next moment. And you will never know that who the other person sitting next to you is. Sometimes even having a short conversation with a stranger helps them out. It even helps you out. communication is not just having a communication with the other person, it's also about having a communication with yourself, having a communication with your inner conscious, and how you motivate yourself if you start communicating to your own self on a daily basis. So communication is very powerful.
Thank
And
you
we should
very
always
much.
respect. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
carry
you.
on, carry on, carry on, carry on.
And that communication is very powerful and we should always respect it. And it helps in negotiating and convincing the other person. And it can sometimes even call off a beef. If we are having a beef with someone, he can even help us to call out that beef with someone. So never stop communicating. It's healthy.
Very
Thank you.
good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Harshita.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Last but not least, Sanjana. Sanjana, can you introduce yourself and tell us what is the role of communication in our life?
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Sanjana. I'm studying 7th standard in Raj Vidya Bhavan Metric High Secondary School in Thurayur. My hobbies are drawing, painting, and reading books. Thank you.
Okay, and what is the role of communication in our life?
Ma'am, communication is an important thing to speak to other persons. One people tell our feelings to another people by communication. And
good.
Communication skills is used to speak competitions and speak in many places. In many chief minister and others persons.
Yes, it is used in many sectors of the industry, or in many industries, and in many careers and jobs. Very good. Anything else you would like to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, Sanjana.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, that is everyone, I believe. I'm sorry I didn't ask. Yes.
Develop our skills.
Yes.
And reveals our talent. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Sanjana. Well, she's right. It does give us communication helps our challenge indirectly, because we become more knowledgeable because of communication, and we can then become more talented and more skilled. Today, thank you all for your opinions, and I'm sorry I couldn't ask you all what you did with your day. I thoroughly enjoy hearing that, but I looked at my list and I thought, my goodness, it's a long list, and so I had to move on to today's question. However, I really truly appreciate you for all joining your class, this class. I know how busy you all are. And thank you all for sharing your opinion. As we saw, communication is important in many areas of our life, and it affects several areas, not just one, but it's also about understanding ourselves and understanding each other, which was lovely to hear from you all. So thank you all for sharing that with us, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a good evening, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.